Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Please let's take our seats. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me another moment so that we can celebrate a distinguished Kenyan in our midst, a Kenyan American, the first one to win a state assembly seat in Minnesota, the United States of America. In our midst, we have Hulda. Mpigeni makofi jameni. Huyu Mkenya ameenda Marekani na akashinda kiti ya ubunge kule. Asanteni sana. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an immense pride that I join you in celebrating the 61st anniversary of our nation's birth. At this pivotal moment, we reflect on the values of our sovereignty and celebrate the enduring legacy of those whose patriotic efforts took down the bastions of imperialism. Their sacrifice set our republic on the path of liberty, unity, peace, enterprise, and democracy. Today, we affirm, by reflecting on what we have accomplished since raising the flag of our nation, that by staying true to our national identity, we have remained consistent through seasons of abundance and scarcity. We assert our essential collective character, defined by the values and principles that inspired our forefathers to struggle and sacrifice, persist and persevere, endeavor and endure until oppression gave way to freedom, exclusion gave way to unity, and marginalization gave way to equality. We remember that our nation was born from the painful sacrifice and tireless, often lonely, and grueling efforts of men and women driven by the conviction that their sweat, tears, and blood were a worthy price to pay for ushering millions of their brothers and sisters from the dark, cold nights of imperial brutality into the warm daylight of freedom. Before 1963, our people were compelled to work hard to enrich colonial settlers. After 1963, our people labored by choice to provide for their families and build our great nation. Before 1963, education, health, and personal security were privileges reserved for the colonial elite. After 1963, they became the right of all citizens of our republic. Before 1963, African people existed to be seen and not to be heard. After 1963, we reclaimed our inalienable sovereignty to its fullest extent. The year 1963, therefore, marked Kenya's profound moment of historical change, yet it also represents an equally fundamental moment of essential and defining continuity. Our circumstances changed forever, and our horizon was illuminated by the forces of possibility, the dawn of opportunity shining brightly. Yet our values, hard work, unity, and determination remained constant. We applied these same principles to build our nation after we liberated it. There is an important point worth emphasizing. In our time, our generation must never focus so much on the present that we forget where we were only 6 decades ago. We must not ignore the fact that our freedom, democracy, and development were achieved through the contributions of millions of determined patriots, nor should we underestimate the time and patience it took for them and for these small progressive efforts to accumulate into an unstoppable momentum towards freedom and nation building. It may have been easy to despise individual freedom fighters as they ventured into a forest of uncertainty and to underestimate their ambition to free Kenya from colonialism. Yet, that is precisely how we gained our independence. Courage and hard work, determination and patience, and the confidence that we are not alone are always what it takes to make meaningful strides as a nation. Today, I want to encourage my fellow countrymen to keep this perspective in mind. As we aspire for more and better, we must not give way to despair, pessimism, or skepticism when faced with challenges, but instead forge our path forward with courage, hope, determination, and ambition. I declare my unswerving faith in the ability of our people to interrogate policies and hold the government to account. This is the essence of democratic freedom, a civic duty for citizens, a responsibility for leaders, and a necessary imperative for our success and progress. We have experienced a particularly challenging time as a people, largely owing to dynamics beyond our control, resulting in high cost of living, greater difficulty in finding employment, and fewer opportunities for entrepreneurs. Consequently, there was widespread anxiety about the economic stability of our nation, demanding urgent and appropriate interventions and effective solutions. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda was inspired by our determination to confront these fundamental challenges directly and with ambition. Our aim was first to lay the foundation for robust economic activity to generate millions of opportunities at the bottom of the economic ladder each year and drive substantive, inclusive, and sustainable growth. Our key priorities were to reduce the cost of living, stimulate enterprise, boost productivity, create jobs, foster a conducive environment for institutional and infrastructural development, and promote investment in manufacturing, industrialization, and export competitiveness. As a starting point, it was critical for us to tighten our belts and make significant sacrifices to reset our public finances on a sustainable path, enabling intensified investments in the strategic pillars of our plan and the cross-cutting enablers of rapid transformation. I acknowledge, ladies and gentlemen, the work we have done and the milestones achieved in creating the necessary conditions for progress in every value chain that support the pillars of our plan. There is a time to resist and a time to accept, a time to deny and a time to admit, a time to doubt and a time to believe. In the face of undeniable evidence, skepticism must give way to confidence, and we must reject the deceptive embrace of disinformation and fake news. The results and positive impact of our collective pursuit of fundamental economic change can no longer be wished away. Ladies and gentlemen, financial inclusion, for example, is now a reality for millions. The Hustler Fund is marking its second anniversary on a highly successful note, having empowered millions by lending a total of 60 billion Kenya shillings so far, liberating millions from predatory lenders and precarious financial situations, and enabling them to meet their needs, fund their hustles, and build their credit scores. Our ongoing conversation with borrowers focuses on concerns related to short-term duration, modest loan amounts, and the time required to increase borrowing limits. In response to this feedback, the fund has designed a new product, the bridge loan, to help Kenyans with good credit scores to transition from personal loans to enhanced facilities offering larger loan amounts with longer repayment periods. This will enable Kenyans to pursue bigger opportunities and better investments. Ladies and gentlemen, not only have we registered successive historic gains against the shame of hunger for the last 3 seasons, we are also firmly on the path towards surplus production. This impressive rise in productivity has multiplied the incomes of farmers in maize, tea, sugar, coffee, and dairy value chains. There is no doubt that this agricultural transformation is the direct result of our strategic decisions to shift public resources from consumption subsidies to support productivity. Food is now more accessible to households than before, and as I stated in the State of the Nation address, our country now boasts substantial national food stocks: 95 million 50-kilogram bags of maize, 9 million bags of beans, 10 million bags of wheat, and 2 million bags